Hey, hello everybody, and welcome back to our Frozen Frontier prologue. So I think we're just going to pick up the very next day. It is a bit of a cold, rainy day out in Solwick.
Yep.
Um, and Captain William Marshall is,
Captain William Marshall.
Well, that's
So
a
I've
true mouthful.
yeah.
I've s- I've spent the evening pacing downstairs in my house as my family cry themselves to sleep upstairs. And as I see the sun starting to rise over the horizon, I head to my armory and start to don my chainmail,
Hmm.
get my long sword, my javelins, my daggers, put everything in its sheaths, and get my shield with my sigil on it, and hoist it over my back, ready for a day at the office, if you will. And at first light, head out the front door towards the keep.
All right. You find yourself in front of the keep after a probably surprisingly short walk. Here you are, ready
All
for
right.
your first official duty.
So is there a gatekeeper or can I walk in?
You can walk in. Everyone knows who you are. The gatekeeper just opens the door for you without anything, giving you like the morning salute.
Morning. I'll say hello to any of the men as I
Hmm.
pass, training in the yard. And where does Ark Alatar reside?
Ark Alatar has a basement room um, in the bottom of the keep.
All right. I don't deal with this guy too much, but obviously he's been around for a while. He's the Princess Seller's wizard.
Mm-hmm.
So I will head to his chambers. I have some advice to ask of him.
Sure. You find him in his chambers. The door is locked, as it always is. Um, Seemingly, he's the only person who knows how to open it. He lets you in through the door, gives you a comfortable chair to sit at.
Ark Alatar, it's good to see you.
Welcome, Captain William.
You've
Or
heard of
do you
my.
prefer Lord William?
There's no need for that. You can just call me William Alatar. Um, how much do you know of this expedition?
I heard quite a bit.
Do you,
The
what do
princess
you?
has informed me of it well in advance. I have learned only recently of your volunteering to head the expedition.
Yes, well, it's a great honor. Um, what do you
Well,
make?
you seem quite jolly about it yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Mhm.
it's important that somebody. Yeah, less said about that, maybe the better. Your, I'd be interested in your expertise and what I could expect to find down there.
Well, I think the only thing you can expect is the snow and the unexpected. It's going to be quite cold. I hope you're ready to bring some fur boots and some earmuffs.
Well, I've ventured into the frozen wastes south of Solwick before. How much colder can it be? I'm sure it'll be fine.
Hmm.
Do you
A
do you
light smile graces his face.
do you think that there will be monsters there?
I believe so. Yes.
Well, I suppose I'll be put to some use then.
Why have you come to see me?
Well, the princess has charged me with creating my own team of explorers to accompany me in the expedition.
Mm-hmm.
There's no shortage of great fighters in the city,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm wondering if you think a man of your talents would be of use to me in the expedition. A wizard, a warlock, a mage, a witch, whatever.
I do believe a man of my talents would serve you very well down in the frozen wastes, but to be honest, I don't like the cold. And it's a long tour of duty, and very far away from the comforts of home, and
Yeah.
rather a miserable posting. So let me recommend someone else to you.
Yes, well, it's not for everybody, I suppose.
No, no, only those brave enough to do so.
You have a recommendation? Somebody in the town, or somebody you've dealt with, a friend?
Well, let me see here. He leans back and starts thinking through his mind. There's a whole slew of minor spellcasters around that could be of use to you. What are you thinking you might be looking for more of?
Somebody, I think I can probably handle the fighting myself. Somebody who's maybe well knowledgeable, who can be trusted to provide knowledge on what we find down there and deal with any sort of arcane problems that come up.
Well, if you're looking for someone who's experienced in the histories of the world, someone who understands arcanology more than throwing around fireballs, I do have a man in mind. A bit of an odd duck.
Well,
Not from around here. He's a Matavin. Yes,
Matavin.
he is Matavin. Yes, I don't know how he escaped that strange corner of the world, but he's here in Solwick. He speaks with a funny accent. His name is Yoramir, I believe. Yaramir? I can never quite understand how he pronounces it.
Is he to be trusted?
I trust him.
Well, I suppose that's good enough for me then. Where can I find this Yaramir so I may speak to him myself?
Let's see. I believe he lives... Does he live in town? I think he lives in town.
Ah,
Yaramir, you live in town?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
It's a good place.
He gives you the description of Yaramir's home, or where you can find him, and then proceeds to tell you a little bit about Yaramir, to give you just a little backstory on the person you're looking for. So, Greg, what do you look like?
Jaromir is a tall, very long person, gangly arms, but very thin. He eats plenty, but never gains weight. It's very strange. For this reason, he's very weak, but what can you do? Strong of mind, weak of body. He is dark-skinned, very foreign, but has deep black tattoos running throughout his entire body. On his face, on his chest, his hands, his feet, everywhere. And these tattoos, they swirl with arcane glyphs. Is very strange person, deals in the occult, is known to throw sticks and tell you your fortune. What else? Bit reclusive, likes to keep to himself, but does study with other learned folks, always attempting to improve mind.
Okay. So he describes this to you, this strange, very tall, dark-skinned fellow with all of these tattoos. He talks about how he's got these like markings on his face where it looks like his lips have been sewn together, and he's got these like circles around his eyes with spikes coming off of them, and like a tattoo of a third eye on the middle of his forehead, and there's like icicles coming down from the side of his neck, and like horizontal lines running up his throat.
damn.
Yeah.
I've maybe seen him around town then. It sounds like someone you wouldn't forget.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I think I know the chap that you mean, Altar. I had no idea he was a wizard, though.
Well, what did you think he was? A carny?
Just some foreigner, I thought.
Hmm.
Strange
Well,
land, Matava.
Yes. We've had some workings together. He's been quite useful to me, and I believe I to him. I don't know if I would like to spend 2 years with the man, but if you're looking for an expert on these materials and these things, he could be the man for the job.
I'd much rather I'm accompanied by men that can keep me alive and make the expedition a success than those who might be good company. This Jaromir sounds like he might be of use to me. I shall go and seek him out. Do you know where he lives?
Yes. Down the lane, third house on the left.
Very well. Thank you, Alatar. If Jaromir doesn't work out, I'll be back for another recommendation if you've got one.
Of course. I'll try to drum something up.
I'll leave you to your studies then. Well, good day.
Good day.
I'll climb out of the basement, up the stairs, walk out from the keep, nod to the men again, and walk through the gate back into the city.
Okay. So he lives in town, but like at the very edge of town. Like the town has a wall around it, and then the town has kind of spilled out beyond that. So he lives in the outside of the wall, kind of way off in the boonies. It's its own sub-region of the area.
Sure.
You make your way
crazy wizard place.
Yeah, you make your way through the walls on this rainy day. It's just kind of miserable all around you. Get to this kind of outlying village section, and the streets aren't marked. He said he was, on the lane, but everything here is something or other lane, something or other avenue. And you're just a little bit lost as to where this guy might actually live.
Okay. Well, I need to find him, so I will spend as much time as it takes walking up and down around this strange place. I guess I'll follow the path to wherever it ends, assuming that the house is going to be on the lane at some point.
Yeah, but there's, crisscrossing lanes all
right.
around. Yeah. I'm sure one of the locals might know where he is.
Yeah, I look around, though. Do any of the houses look particularly strange? Like,
They all look like the same sort of commoner shack.
All right, then I will go and, realizing that I'm lost, I'll head to the nearest house and politely knock on the door.
Okay. The door opens. A young woman answers it. She sees you with your, armor and your sigils and everything out in the rain, kind of soaked all the way through. Gives a deep bow and opens the door, motioning for you to come in. Says, "Come in, my lord. Come in. Come in. What can I do for you?"
I take a moment to sort of like push my hair back, get the rain out of it, and sit down. I'm looking for a man. I think he lives around these parts. A strange fella, foreigner, dark skin and tattoos. Jaromir, do you perhaps know where he resides?
She's like mid pouring you a glass of wine, and stops and looks at you. "Oh my! Has something happened? Has someone turned up dead?"
No, why? Well, what do you know of this fellow?
"Oh, he's a strange man from far away, covered in all sorts of hideous tattoos. I once saw him with his shirt off while he was plucking weeds from his yard, or maybe he was burying the bones of a small child. I don't know, but he had a large tattoo skull tattoo right over his heart.
Wow.
I think he's some sort of necromancer. Are you here to get rid of him?"
I'm here to speak to him and find out what he's up to, but you shouldn't be so quick to judge others different to yourself. There can be great good found in the heart of a foreigner.
Even when that heart has a skull over it?
Perhaps not. Maybe you are right. I will be cautious. Thank you for the wine, but I must.
Of course.
Take.
Bobby, little Bobby, come here. Bobby, this is Lord
Marshall.
He needs to go see Jaromir. Would you show him the way? And little Bobby looks at you with terror, but nods.
Thank you, child.
Okay. She sends little Bobby to lead you to Jaromir's house, which is, a couple lanes over and down an alley, or whatever. And the kid takes you through the rain, splashing in puddles as you go. It's kind of a quiet day out in the streets. No one's coming out into this drizzle. It's a weekend, so no one has anything to do anyway. And then the kid, not even approaching the house, points from a few hundred feet away to this strange little house. How would you describe your domicile?
I think the domicile itself on the exterior doesn't look all that strange. I'm probably renting. Right. It probably looks like anybody else's house just from the exterior. Apparently, I spent some time shirtless weeding to, really get the locals on my side. And, but yeah, I think from the exterior, it just kind of looks like a moderately kept, moderately kept peasant house. Perhaps in the interior, it might be a little different, but
okay. So
So he points to this totally regular house with a small garden out front, and goes, "That's the one, my lord. That's the one."
This is where Jaromir lives.
He nods enthusiastically.
I kneel down, pull out a copper piece, and put it in his hand. Thank you, Bobby. You return to your mother.
He nods, and kind of walks backwards a little bit, but he kind of keeps watching you. He just like walks back down the street, waiting to see what's going to happen when this big, impressive knight goes and talks to this scary wizard.
All right,
That
so I
generous copper piece, though,
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
makes the day.
I figure it doesn't take as much gold to make people like William as it did to like Malachi.
Yeah.
So I seeing that the kid wants to watch, I think about shooing him, but then I'll turn around and walk towards the house, and I check my sword on my in my sheath. I don't pull it out, but I just make sure that it's not stuck.
It's there. It slides easily.
All right, and I go and knock on the door.
All right. After a moment or two, the door kind of slides open, and you get your kind of first look at me in like I always wear a robe, and I have this thin, spindly person just kind of disappears into the folds of the robe. Right. I have these like very narrow, thin wrists kind of poking out, but my face has these slate gray eyes that just kind of peer out very, very strongly. There's intelligence behind them, and you get the full view of my tattooed face with the third eye and the sewn together lips and rings and just all kinds of crazy tattoos. You'll notice that I'm completely bald and they go up around my head and everything. And they kind of look at you and say, welcome to my home. What? I have not seen you here before. Do you need fortune red? I have sticks ready.
Yaramir, my name is Captain William Marshall. I work for the princess.
You wish to know if you have luck with princess? Come, Yaromir will tell you. Come,
No.
and I open the door wider, and you can see inside of this is this giant room where there are like mirrors and shiny pieces of silver kind of everywhere. And there's a kind of a mat, kind of like someone would like kneel and pray at a very Eastern mat in the center. But all of these mirrors are positioned in ways where you could see every side of yourself if you were to stand there. Other than that, the furnishing is very sparse, and there are just this pile of intricately carved casting sticks next to the mat.
As you say that about the princess, I put a hand on your shoulder and say, "You shouldn't speak of the princess in that way, Yaramir. If we are to get on, please."
Do not worry. Do not worry. Yaromir comes from a place where women have high power. He is very respectfully man.
Yeah, well, perhaps you can tell me more about that one day. But for now, we have business to talk. Can I come in?
Oh, of course, come. I will prepare second cushion.
I look around.
And
the
I
mirrors.
walk off and find another little kind of like mat and set it next to the one that was in the center of the room.
Okay.
Tell me, do you like tea, or perhaps you wish something stronger? I have vodka.
Tea will be fine.
Excellent. I will make you excellent herbal tea. Just give a moment.
So, can you describe the inside of your house a little bit? Is there like a fireplace? Is there?
Yeah, very, very, very sparsely furnished. The center is kind of these mirrors. There's probably a small cove, like hole, like stove in one corner with a few, just dishes set on shelves near it. Probably enough for maybe at most 2 or 3 people. It's very sparsely decorated. There's a small kind of cot on a different corner of the wall. There's a small chest in next to it that is probably open. It's probably not locked. You can see that there are kind of strange pieces of different spell components in there. I don't know if you would recognize them as such, but there's bugs in a bottle and like moss and like dust and just all kinds of odd things in this small kind of foot chest. But mostly this room, this inside of this like peasant's home has been turned into a large kind of like mirror room where you can see yourself. If you sit where I positioned the mat, like you could see pretty much every angle of yourself from here.
All right. So as you go off to get the tea, I start looking around, and I find myself looking into the mirror, looking at the lines on my face, realizing that I'm getting old, and I take my sword off and place it on the floor, and then carefully like lower myself down to sit on one of these cushions.
Okay. The rain is loud on the roof of the house. The fireplace keeps you warm, and its crackles, give atmosphere to the room. Yaromir?
I finished. I just kind of boil a pot of tea and pour it over some dried herbs and look at you. Do you take yours with kick or no?
No kick. Thank you.
Okay, more kick for me. And then I hand you a single kind of like stone mug with piping hot tea, and I kind of fold myself into that like Indian style sitting position across from you on a mat. And say, so, you have business with Yaromir. Do you wish fortune read? Is usual business I find these days.
No, not quite. I've been, like I said, I work for the princess, and I've spoken to Ark Alatar. Do you know him?
Indeed, yes. Mr. Elatar is a friend. We occasionally do research together. One of few wizards who appreciates open perspective.
Well, you come highly recommended from him, Yaromir. I have a quest, I suppose you would say, and I'm in the market for capable fellows. In your case, I'm looking for someone who might be well read on histories and provide perspective on arcane problems that may come up in my quest.
Your local history is not so good. My knowledge of history comes from other places. However, if you look for archaeologists, you've come to the right person. He kind of like shows you his arms and makes note of his tattoos. He says, I have been around the arcane my whole life. Is a passion of mine to know all that I can. Bear in mind, my views do not line up with the school. Some learned wizards dislike what I have say.
Well, I figure that what we're doing and where I'll be going, and hopefully where you can help me, most learned wizards probably wouldn't go there, so that's your strange perspective may offer some guidance. But let me get to the point. How well do you know geography? Do you have a map?
Geography? His person I do not know, no.
No, geography. Do you have a map of the kingdom?
No, this kingdom, no. I have a map of a place I'd like to visit one day, Cuba. Also have heard of strange place overseas on a Solom. I have weird map here, but of this kingdom, no map.
Okay, well, do you have some... Well, to the south of Drekis, if you go south from Solwick, the ground turns to ice, and it gets cold, yes?
Yes, indeed. I have attempted to go into this icy habitat occasionally for research, we'll say.
Right. Well, across the sea from there, the continent of Caldonia, do you know of it?
I have, in my research, I have heard whispers of a strange place, abandoned by gods, frozen in time, yes.
That's
you
right.
seek an expedition to this place?
Indeed, the princess is funding an expedition from the crown's treasury, and I will be leading the expedition. And I'm looking for a team of capable individuals to help me in my expedition. You come highly recommended, Yaromir, and you seem like a strange type. No offense, strange around here.
It's not the first time I've heard this.
I'm sure. Most wouldn't think twice about going there. It's surely dangerous, and I expect it to be quite cold indeed. What say you? Are you interested? I'm told there is great knowledge lost down there from the ancient kingdoms. Wealth as well.
I kind of steeple my fingers in front of my face and kind of stare at you for a few moments and say, well, yes, I always seek new avenues of knowledge. Potential lost knowledges of ancient times may help further my understanding.
Oh,
I
I'll be
could
straight.
convinced. Tell me more of expedition. What is goal? Obviously, princess not as interested in lost knowledge as most, I would assume.
No. Well, there's many motivations, I think, that makes it a profitable endeavor. There's surely great wealth there from the lost cities. There's surely great knowledge, and if the land can be tamed and farmed, then perhaps we can expand the kingdom's borders as well. There is a captain, a lady by the name of Geneva Hughes. She is leading a group of settlers down there to build a fort and set up a stronghold.
Ah, so just Geneva is your master. I see. I am familiar with dynamic.
Quite well. It's not quite that straightforward. I'll be running my expedition from Captain Geneva's fort, but I share the rank of captain, and my expedition will be a separate entity to hers in the structure of command. It's politics, and it's not. Maybe you shouldn't worry about it.
Well, okay, is not problem. I have a further question. Is no one concerned about the wrath of gods as you go to south? This continent lost for many years is rumored to be spited and cursed by devilish beings beyond your understanding.
I'm sure there are a great many dangers, but if Princess Sela, with Ark Alatar's wisdom, deems it safe and a worthwhile endeavor, then I shall go.
A brave man to spit in eye of Martha. I approve. I too wish to spit in eye of Martha.
Well, let's not get carried away here. I'm serving my duty to my liege, as you will be too.
I have thrown off chains. I do not have liege. Will not have further liege.
Perhaps not, but you must still pay your taxes. You still owe Princess Sela for your continued safety from the wrath of the monsters outside of the city limits.
I filled out 1040 in complete and triplicate. It will take taken care of.
Well, I'm no accountant. Merely a fighter. But are you convinced, Yaramir?
Yes, this is intriguing to me. I would be very happy to see this new continent. I have learned a great deal from this country. Perhaps it's time to expand my research and my mind further.
Very, very well.
I have a request of you, Captain. There is place in Bull Run, a long river. I have heard there lies interesting aspect of magic. I went to find, but unfortunately, vicious beast guards place. A few small, wicked knives. Is not place small thin Yaromir wishes to go alone. Perhaps before we depart this place, you could help me find what I am looking for there?
You know that I'm not some servant that you can order around, Yaramir.
No, but perhaps his favor. We'll owe you reading in future, or we'll read other favor.
I suppose I can help you kill some goblins, kobolds.
I am uncertain. A small, snouty, little bit of scale, little bit of fur, have long knives. I dislike them.
I suppose I'd only have to kill them at some point anyway. Very well. If it's not too far, I shall accompany you there now, but time is of
at once.
great
Well,
importance.
let me finish tea. Is important. I will grab preparations from box. Are you sure you do not wish Omen Red? We can do this now.
No, I think why don't we save it for the trip across the sea?
All right. Is good. I can read many fortunes on boat. Perhaps make small fortune of my own. Good. I go to the box and I begin pulling out all kinds of fun little trinkets. I pull out a tiny bell and a piece of silver wire and some phosphorescent moss, and just begin stuffing it in little like ringlets in this like draping cloak over me, and to get ready to go down the bone run.
All right.
Bone Run. So what is it in Bone Run?
He has come across rumors of a cave that has written glyphic magic in it. And through his research in the library of Solwick, he has located the cave in question. But when he tried to go there, he was turned back by little beasts that he didn't feel like taking down on his own.
Okay.
So I will slowly get to my feet, pick up my sword, put it back on my belt, and head out back into the daylight.
Back out into the rain. All right.
Rain.
Yeah. The door opens, and you guys head out into the rain outside.
So, Yaramir, what is it we're looking for?
Is a long river, is old cave that was carved out by men before formation of Solwick. Learn about in library in Pernices. And also have asked around here, been taken by hunters around town. Is dug underneath land that we stand on, but is still above river. Only flood little bit. Not large flooding, only small flood. And there are little beasts inside, nasty. They at me, and I do not like.
No. They are vicious creatures, kobolds, if that's what they are. Well, they're a problem for the town in many locations, and it's probably best that I kill these things anyway, so let's go.
Excellent.
But what are you looking for there?
Inside of cave is rumor that are glyphs. They are written before magic tower was created here, before wizards learned from book. I wish to study it, maybe take it with me, create Etch-a-Sketch. It perhaps would help me further my own understanding of where and how these things on my body were made.
You didn't do that yourself?
No. Although I would. These tattoos be bitching, no?
Perhaps this will be good practice for what comes ahead. And we trudge through the rain.
All right, you guys trudge through the rain, leaving Solwick behind. You find Bone Run, the river that runs through or around Solwick, and head. I'm thinking you're headed southeast, down it.
Yes, going southeast. Probably a few hours ride. I'm thinking it's probably not right next to town. Mm-hmm. Solwick probably was originally a it's a city that grew from a village that was around here, but probably migrated to a more useful spot as the population grew. So this is probably a day's or so ride away into like old Solwick, like centuries past Solwick.
Excellent.
Do you have a horse?
No, I own no animal of burden.
If it's a day away, then I'll take my horse.
Okay. You guys
Do
can
you
mount
mind
up.
if I ride bitch?
You look quite heavy.
Really, it is good. I have been eating much herb, trying to put on extra weight. It's very difficult for me to put on the weight.
Well, we can try. If the horse gets tired, though, I'll just walk at a slower pace.
Okay.
Excellent. I get on and hug you around your waist and put my head on your shoulder. This will be much fun.
Okay.
All right, you guys make your way to the riverside cave, right?
Yeah. It's a cave, and it's kind of hidden by the river. It's been dug kind of down into alongside of the river, probably a little bit partially flooded.
Okay. Well, here you are at the river, and here you are at the cave.
All right. Look, if you look over here, William, you see opening is a bit hidden, but you can see it next to bank. If we go down there, it's very dark. Fortunately for you, I have abilities to make it not dark, but vicious beasts in there.
Okay. Well, let me just tie up my horse. I tie my war horse up to a tree, and I try and get a look into the cave. Can I see into the cave from?
You're
from
gonna
here?
have to walk into the river to get into the cave, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably an entrance through the river.
Is the river deep?
You'll have to find out. You're probably gonna be wading up to your knees at least.
Can
Maybe
you
more.
illuminate it from here, Yaramir?
Yes, in fact I can. Perhaps it's better if we illuminate stone or something so we can take with us. But yes, I can illuminate for many feet.
All right. However it works, see if you can't get me some line of sight on these things, and I'll take a javelin from my back and jump down into the river.
Excellent. So I kind of like put my arms up and I take out some phosphorescent moss and begin rolling it between my hands and chanting some strange words. And I begin drawing with the moss this long symbol through the air. If you're paying attention, you might notice it's very similar to a tattoo you saw on my shoulder. I'm kind of drawing these like small spikes coming off one in each direction from a central point. And I cast light into the cave. And I guess in 2E, I can cast it in just an area. So it's max distance of 60 yards into the cave and then illuminates a 20-foot globe.
All right. I assume I'm closer than 60 yards, though.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So I'm like wading through the river as this
All right.
happens.
Yes, you guys make it into the cave, out of the rain. It's kind of dripping water all around you, maybe dripping on you a little bit, but it's lighter than the rain from outside. As Yoramir said, water kind of floods the cave a little bit. And here you guys are in this well-lit, if somewhat damp and cold cave.
I'll put my my javelin away and draw my sword. So where are these kobolds, Yaramir? This looks
Last
lovely.
time when I entered, they took them some time, but as I was crawling along wall finding glyph, I heard hissing and turned around. They had come and were behind me. Fortunately, I had be the force I could throw and made them escape.
Well, you find your glyphs, and I'll make sure no kobolds bother us.
Excellent. We'll do exactly that. And I begin kind of walking through the cave along the wall, attempting to find the symbology I was looking for.
Okay. As you enter the cave, the sounds of the river begin to fade until it's just the dripping of water from the ceiling and your footsteps echoing down the natural cavern walls. You go inside the cave a few hundred feet until you find these glyphs, like the ones you saw last time. The ground at your feet is now stone with a little bit of dirt on the side. And the cave seems to split into multiple paths, but some of them are actually more of like large columns and they're single chambers, and the layout of the cave is confusing and difficult. The light from the light spell only dimly reaches out to here and throws large shadows kind of all over the place.
So if this is where Yaramir can look at the glyph, I'll just stand guard here and wait. If anything comes down one of these tunnels, I'll fight it. But just standing guard.
Okay. I spend some time kind of just in observance of it, and I take out kind of a thin sheet of paper, and I take some like mud from the ground or some dirt, and I lay it against the kind of carving and begin making that kind of sketch of the glyph on the paper. And as I do this, making sure to take care that it actually does match. And then, kind of as I finish doing that, I'll begin looking deeper for more of these. Right? Perhaps there are these branching paths that need to be found.
If the light spell doesn't extend out here, I'll light my lantern and hand it to Yaromir.
Excellent. This is very handy. Thank you.
Keep the light ahead of me, and I'll start skulking down the corridors.
Excellent.
Okay.
Clear this place out.
All right. So as the light gets passed over to you, you sure enough hear this squeaking sound of some sort of creatures whispering, some sort of small creatures whispering in the distance. And taking a few steps forward off of this rocky ledge and into the soft earth, you see what looks to be a pack of 4 kobolds, these strange, diminutive, canine, bipedal creatures with short brown fur, each one carrying a crude wooden javelin tipped with some sort of stone head.
These are beasts. These ones here.
All right,
They
I raise
worry me greatly.
I put my shield up and start to walk towards them, trying to block the javelin throws if they throw them.
Okay. And I think it is this point where maybe Nick should roll initiative with the kobolds. I think Greg is probably inspecting the runes and doing his thing, and this is why William's brought along.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
12.
All right. There is a quadro of these little creatures. You rolled a 12? Why did 12 not show up? Ah, there is 12. Okay, so the kobolds go first, or some of them go first at least, and they hurl their little javelins at you. 3 of them toss with a 3, an 8, and a 15 to hit.
Nope.
Nope.
My shield blocks the one that hits my frame, but the other 2 go wide, I guess.
They fall to the ground, one of them clattering off of your shield, and it is your turn.
All right, I will just attack the first kobold with my sword then.
Okay.
You little bastards.
Make your way to it quite easily.
Do I get a +1 for height advantage against
No.
it? Okay. 21.
That is sure enough a hit.
All right.
The
9
max
damage.
4 HP character dies instantly as your sword rips it in half. The last kobold plunges his spear at you again, or plunges his spear at you for the first time with a 4 to hit, which is a complete and utter miss, and we roll initiative.
Kobolds, eh?
Kobolds. All right. All the kobolds go first this time, and they quickly surround you. So you've got 1 on your front, 1 on your side, and 1 at your back.
Okay.
Front, side, back. The front rolls an 11. The side rolls a 16.
Would I get my shield on that side or not?
Let's see. Why don't you roll me a d6? On a 1, he's on the shield side. On 2, 1 through 3, he's on shield side. 4 through 6, he's on non-shield side.
Non-shield. So that would be it. I've got 15 AC then, so that would be a hit. +1 for flank, so I think he's hit me.
Yeah. He stabs you in the side for 3 points of damage, and the one in the back rolls a 2.
Alright, I let out a grunt of pain, and I get 2 attacks this round, right?
Yep.
Oh man, biters.
13's a strike, which
8.
kills the 4 HP kobold.
Yep. And a 6.
And a 6 is a swing and a miss, but the kobolds have had their numbers cut in half, and they're done. They break, and they run back further into the cave.
Attack of opportunity?
You get up to 3,
Oh, wow.
because you're a fighter.
20.
20.
It's a hit. For 13.
Oh, dear God.
That's actually plus 6, right? Because it's back attack.
Yeah.
13.
Yeah. You wreck the 4 little kobolds that came out to meet you. Some of them make it a few feet away before they get cut down by your... Is it a longsword or an arming sword that you're using?
I think it's an arming sword, right? That's what you call longswords, isn't it?
Sure. You can reskin it as any other blade if you'd like. So it can
Just
be a
long- yeah,
long
it's-
sword, but the stat block is arming sword.
Yeah, longsword.
Okay, cool. The kobolds are gone no more, here no more, and I think Greg can finish up, or Yadomir can finish up his investigations of these runes in relative peace. There's probably more kobolds back in that cave, but these ones have at least stopped for now.
So I'll just go back to guarding. And I'll. Oh no, he's using the lantern, isn't he? So I'll just wait.
Okay. Yep. You can finish up the inspection of these runes. What do they tell you, Yadomir?
I begin comparing them to the tattoos I have on my body and trying to, like, I'm holding them up or holding my own body up and looking at the lantern, and I'm looking at their shape and their creation. And what they tell me it varies from rune to rune, but I come to realize that they do not match what I have. It's some kind of other hieroglyphic is at work. And so I take the sketches and am a little disappointed that for whatever reason these don't match whatever I have. But perhaps there are keys in here. There's some further truth I can glean from them. So they go with me into these. I make these sketches of them, and I will continue their study and find why they were made and what they represent, as opposed to these arcane spells that seem to swirl around my body.
Right. Okay. Well, the task completed. You guys can head out back to town, and I think the deal is struck, and Yaromir is now officially part of the expedition.
So I tell him I still need to gather the rest of our party. It should be a week or so before I manage to fill the slots, and then we'll be chartering a ship to head down there. I'll come and knock for you when we are departing the next day.
Excellent. Please, I look forward to your knock.
Prepare yourselves, Yaromir. It will be cold down there. It's best advised to bring warm clothes.
Oh, I will need warm clothes. Yes. Is the expedition capable of providing some? Motava is place of warmth. Most.
Yes, I will. I'll have a young, a servant of the keep bring you some gold.
Excellent. I will purchase warmth for expedition. We'll be ready when you call. I look
Very well.
forward to finding the hidden and obscene.
It's good to meet you, Yaromir. I shake his hand and head off back
I give
to
you that like double clasped one and hold on too long.
Yeah.
Okay. And I believe that is that for this segment. So we're going to go to our break, and when we come back, we will be taking a look at the next party member and how they get recruited into this. So see you guys in a little bit. Bye-bye.
Right.